I would prefer to think of architecture as the vehicle of what one is trying to do, but only as the vehicle, not as the driver, not as a passenger, but architecture as a vehicle, not buildings as the vehicle.
In Britain, until the late 1960s, individuals could submit planning applications for sites they did not own, allowing developers to test the water in advance of acquisition. In 1968, architect Cedric Price proposed to convert Buckingham Palace into a children's hospital on the grounds of underuse. The British bureaucracy responded by tightening legislation, making land ownership a prerequisite to application. The Compulsory Purchase Order is a legal mechanism in the United Kingdom and Ireland that allows government bodies which need to obtain land or property to do so without the consent of the owner. It may be enforced if the proposed development is considered to be in the interest of the public. The Greater London Authority has made the Palace of Westminster and the Houses of Parliament Compulsory Purchase Order 2020 under Section 226(1)(a) of the Town and Country Planning Act 1990. The regeneration of Westminster is a key objective of the London Plan 2018. The highly centralised organisational structure of the UK proved successful in consolidating power in London and allowed the capital to develop its own de facto cosmopolitan constitution, which regards global markets rather than the national population as the most natural form of association. The residents of London tended to be satisfied with their lives when questioned, whilst the residents of the rest of the country less so. In 2016, the decision was taken to remove the UK from the European Union, and from that point on, Westminster became a key component in reconfiguring parliamentary sovereignty. With Westminster reverting to its original role as an English Parliament, a new federal settlement was established in 2019. The redundancy of many buildings in and around Westminster ensued, and against that background, the acquiring authority undertook an independent options appraisal.
We have a number of problems here. I mean, let's start with the obvious one here. In fact, here's a fine example of this sort of corrosion. Because you get a lot of water coming off here, this is much, much worse. And you can see that this is quite literally, I mean, probably I could take that, I don't want to, but I could probably take that piece off.
So, what to do? Well, the parliamentarians have gone out and commissioned some experts, and now they have some estimates. But when your bargain basement cheap as chips option comes in at a whopping £3.5 billion, you know you've got a bit of an issue.
Extensive consultation was carried out with members of the Parliament over the regeneration options from 2017 to 2019. The option to repair and refurbish was the minimum option, but MPs proved highly resistant to decant, pushing the anticipated capital cost up to between £3 and £6 billion. It was, however, recognised at the time that London's considerable land values could make redevelopment by the private sector a better option.
London, a vibrant destination fueled by metropolitan glamour and cultural variety. It is the world's leading international centre for business and commerce. Many successful individuals identify London as the place in the world where they most want to live. We are delighted to introduce you to the world's most prestigious residential development.
It's possible to make a really fresh start on a big scale and create a new urban district right in the middle of London.
If the opportunity area does not turn out to be a different kind of place for Londoners, a real community, then we won't have succeeded.
Houses of Parliament will be quite possibly the most important regeneration story in London and in the UK over the next 20 years. I firmly believe that Houses of Parliament is the last and greatest single prospect for regeneration in central London. It's one of the most exciting things happening in this city.